Now, I want you to put a comb to that head of yours and get your cap and gown so that we can go. I know they're waiting on us. Now, Tracy, I don't want no stuff out of you today. Hand me my stuff can. Stella, she's coming. But you look nice. Thank you, Sister Jane.
You're shiny today, aren't you?
I believe I've got cause too.
Well, shine on, sunbeam.
It's not your hair. No, I fixed it myself. I started to call her and ask her to give me a touch-up, but then I remembered that last time I went to her, she just yanked on my head so hard. And though she's blind in one eye, she's about half blind in the other. Then again, maybe it has.
my middle name. Oh, that's right. Y'all ain't know me when I was Queen of the West.
I reckon we didn't, Miss Red.
Did we miss something?
Well, sure you did, huh? For instance, town folk would hear I was coming through town and they would vacate rather than tangle with Miss Red.
I tell you, no food.
You don't say.
I do. I stroll through town with that look in my eye. I spot me a wrongdoing, I say, draw! Cause your life depends on it, sucker.
Women too?
Miss Red didn't have no sympathy.
And all by your lonesome?
It was a lonely life, but my only life.
That might have been. Take that for me, please. It depended if Daniels wasn't available. See, y'all didn't know me when I was known as Daniels of Dirt Mountain, Mississippi, and wasn't to be fooled with.
And so it was, women and gentlemen, Daniels from Dirt Mountain and Red from Firebutt, Tennessee, came to battle it out one cold and windy evening and hoping to live Louisiana. They's come to see who would be queen of the South, and this is just about where it was, way back when.
All right, Miss Red, I'm being polite. Come on out with your hands held high, or say your prayers.
You's the one need to say your prayers. I got a bullet with your name on it, Bluebell Daniels.
That and a horse will get you to the next town. Now hold them hands high, girl, and save your mama some sorrow.
Mama!
Yeah.
Mama! Say something about my mama!
This is a cast of Still Away, the 2014 cast. Okay, you can unmute now.
Hello, everybody.
Hi there. Some people.
Hello.
Okay, so first of all, Michelle is my co-host, and could everybody mute? When we call you, then you unmute. Okay, so Michelle, these are some of the cast members. Bernetta, could you? Okay, so these, and Paula, you need to mute. These are some of the cast members of Still Away from 2014. And let's start with Lakita. And she was Tracy Ada 1, and there's Mariah Tracy Ada 2. Somebody still that might be you, Michelle.
My mic keeps
Okay, so here we go. So Lakita, talk to us about your experience with Still Away.
It honestly, I think now, like looking back at it, I resonate more so with Tracy Ada. I think at the time, because I was fresh in college, it still resonated with me, the role, because she's so powerful. And so that experience, and plus I'm not at all an actress by any means, but just that experience period, was amazing, and it was life-changing. I think that playing a character who understood that it was about the bigger picture, right? And that she literally was her predecessor's wildest dreams, I mean, this place in the 1930s. And so I think just by her understanding that, Black women have always been at the very bottom of the totem pole. Right. So by her understanding that, I am doing what's necessary, because obviously the pies and selling them, it's not working. So, you know what I'm saying? And then the bank doesn't want to loan us any money. I don't know if you know, or if you remember, but, there was a time period in which, you had to have like immense approval to even be able to get a loan. So just she understood that, you know, educating women, it wasn't going to be given to us, you know, it was something that she was going to have to go out and fight for. And so the fact that she, you know, put her life on the line for this, you know what I'm saying? To me, it means a lot.
Yeah, so let me just read this real quick. The play was about a folktale set in Chicago during the 1930s Depression and early 40s. And it was 5 upstanding church ladies who's raising funds to send young black women to college by holding bake sales, right? Their latest beneficiary, Tracy Ada, had more ambitious ideas. She wants them to all rob a bank. Of course, the ladies are reluctant to do anything that drastic, but when they get turned down from the bank for a loan and to send another woman to college because the white manager doesn't think colored girls need an education, ladies decide to join Tracy Ada in her scheme, and incredibly enough, they manage to pull off a robbery and they escape scot-free when the news came over the radio that the police were looking for the Dillinger gang. So that's what the premise of the play is about. Michelle, you got a question for one of them?
Yes. So as you guys took on these characters, and I know Miss Lakita mentioned that she can kind of, you know, relate. Was there any characters in this performance that, you know, you can relate to? Could you relate to your own character?
Anybody? Go ahead, Paula. She was blue.
My mic keeps going on and off. I don't know what's going on with my mic. But yes, I can relate to Blue. And I could relate to selling the pies, because back when I was coming up, in order to the building fund that never did get, you know, the not brick or nothing got built. But anyway, I remember the old ladies having bake sales and different things to buy uniforms for the children or the usher board or what have you. And there were some characters in those bake sales and things. So yes, I can relate to Blue, because I remember seeing a character like Blue at those bake sales. Little girl saw and heard some things.
Wow. But Mariah, go ahead. You can go ahead, Mariah.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't get off mute. But
Hey,
I made it.
you sure did. So go ahead, Mariah.
yes, I really do think now. Well, back then when I was playing Tracy Ada, I'm Tracy Ada number 2. I'm a little bit older than Lakia, just maybe a year or 2. So we were both at different stages in our careers then and in our lives. So with her saying, you know, being fresh in college, I was already almost headed out of the door from college and into the real world when I played this character. So in the mindset that I kind of had for it was, she was me all the way, just planning and having a plan, sticking to that plan and being persistent and pushing that plan and wanting something for herself and for her people, and not sitting around waiting for someone else to give it to them or to give it to us. And the play is a timeless play to me, because no matter when you see it, you can relate to one or all of these characters in some way, shape, or form. And the message behind this play is even relevant to today with the stuff that we're going. I now teach. And I work in the elementary schools, and I work with children. I've been doing that for a while. I work with children that have special needs and things. And the way that the time that we're in and the things we're going through right now, just with the education system. I mean, we're doing school online through these Zoom sites and things like that. And we honestly, truly do not know what is going to be the future for our children in their education. And it's time, honestly. I mean, I know a lot of people have friends and things like that are starting organizations and things that will help set up foundations for our children, you know, because we have to look out for our kids and their future, because we honestly do not know what is going to happen with us in these next days to come. So yes, I mean, that was my experience with the show. And every time I do the show or I look back at the show, I notice something different about it. Or, you know, I take in something new that I didn't take in the last time from each and every last one of these characters that were on the stage.
Okay, go ahead, Renetta. You played.
Yeah, I played
Jade.
Jade. I think I had maybe an advantage. I played Jade many years ago in Chicago, and I was younger at the time. I was probably in my 30s, and then 30 years later, Jade developed. My Jade developed because I saw in her really a woman who had been oppressed by her husband. She was one of those women who stayed in a marriage regardless, and I think you get to see a little of that hidden anger. He lashes out at Blue, and Blue uncovers the fact that, and in those days, women didn't, if you're abused, there was nobody to call. You didn't call anybody. You put that makeup on and dressed up and went right on, and Jade was she was a little dorky in her movement and everything. Lord knows what she had been through. But I just got a bang out of playing her though, because I played her more of a comic side, and Mrs. Jade Long was really a survivor, in spite, and she survived too because of her friends, and her friends kind of accepted her as she was. Because when Jade went home, Mrs. Jade Long went home, it wasn't a nice place to be. And so I think she she found herself in the church and her work within the church. And so I had a ball playing her. Yeah.
So Cassandra, you were Red, right? You replaced Pam when she went to Burning Coal. Okay, so it looks like we've lost her. Michelle, you got any more questions real quick? Let me see, is she back?
Oh, it looked like she came back.
Yeah, go ahead. Unmute yourself. Oh, no, she didn't.
Okay. So I was just wondering, is there anybody else that can relate to their character?
I'm real shy, and I couldn't understand why.
Let's let Pam talk. Go ahead, Pam. You played several characters.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your experience.
So who played several characters? Was it Miss Paula?
Pam.
Miss Pam. Okay.
Oh,
We can't hear you.
First.
Go ahead, Pam.
And I can't quite remember what Red's thing was, but I know Stella was a woman that she reminded me of the women I saw growing up, and they were taken care of. The mister took care of the household and everything worked. She took care of the house and he provided. So she was well aware of, how the family dynamics worked. And when he was no longer there, I think she had a sense of, we got to provide for the next generation to make it better for them, to find them a better place in the world. And
it is our responsibility as elders to provide that for them, to show them the way. And the way that I think she took that on, a role as the leader of what was the name of our group?
What was the name of your group?
The Women's Missionary Society Church.
Yeah.
But Stella started the group, and Stella took it. What was it?
NYOWE.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Got to get it right. You were the one that corrected
the NYOWP. But she started the group, and she started with the intent that we need to take care of the next generation. We need to provide. We need to take this into our own hands and provide for them and to do something for them. And so she knew that the best way we could do that was we could go to the bank and we could get this money from the bank, and we follow these ABCD steps. Then, XYZ will be provided for them. But to her, her detriment, it just wasn't there. And they weren't willing to look at these women as providers. They weren't willing to validate these women's place in the importance of what we have to offer to the next generation. So the only thing that I know that they wanted us to do was to stay in our place, and of course Stella and her fellow cohorts had other ideas in mind for them. We wanted more for them, and if we had to take it into our own hands and provide for them and make it happen, then that's what we would do. And that's what we did. Hook or crook, scared, we made it happen.
And this was something that Jade never thought she would have been able to do. And I think, she kind of went on the energy and the belief and the encouragement of the other women, because this was way out of Jade's comfort line. Comfort zone.
Right.
And I feel more people today will be able to relate to Tracy Ada's side, because Tracy Ada, it was like, no matter what happens, if we have to fight, if we have to go in there and we have to take it, nobody's going to give us anything, and we have to take it. And that's what we're going to do. And that was her mindset. And with everything that's going on in the world right now, I feel like a lot of young people have that mindset where they're not asking for anything. We don't want permission. If it's ours and we want it, we're going to take it. We're coming for it. We're not sitting around waiting for you anymore to give us anything, because you're not giving us anything.
Right.
I always remember the last words when President Obama was leaving office. He said, "It's up to you all now. It's up to young men and young women." And I really think right now that's what we're seeing. And some of them is doing what John Lewis calls getting in good trouble. But the thing is just to get up and get out there, and that's what we have to do. I think that's what we saw happen during the Civil Rights time. And this is a new time. And I'm so happy to see, young women. I look at people like Joy Reid, NSNBC, just got her own show. There are so many young people who are really getting out there. I'm proud of them, just like the Tracy Adas.
Right. So, Cassandra, we're going to have to let y'all go in just a second. So go ahead and talk a little bit about your experience with the play.
Can you
go ahead?
Sorry.
You keep turning yourself off.
I had the opportunity to play three of the roles, Sadie, Red, and Stella. And like Mariah said, their thoughts resonate today, because it's coming out in the open how difficult it is for people of color to achieve and get the funds that they need. And it was just great to see it be deflected to someone not of color to be the cause or be blamed this time. Whereas today we're struggling. Institutions are recognizing this now. And it was and the comedy of it even made it even better. So You know, when you can laugh at things and you can see things through a clear glass, it makes it all the better, and it sticks with you.
And you know, the crowd, every time they saw this play, they just left with such glee, and they were so happy to see y'all. And so y'all did a great job. We're going to move on to the cast of 2018. So we're going to let Lakita and Cassandra go, and we're going to add in Miss Pam. I'm sorry, Pam, you staying. We're going to add in Miss Babs and Miss Morrison. So, and Cassandra, we're going to let you go, okay? All right. Okay, get my co-host back in here. Hold on.
Hey, Babs. Good to see you.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Good.
It's good to see you all. It's been quite some time, right?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
good
want
to see that you are doing good.
Yeah. So listen, I want to play a little clip from the 2018. So everybody go on mute, please.
Still away, still away, still away to Jesus.
Oh, Stella, don't let Tracy forget her cap and gown. Everybody wants to see her march down the aisle in her outfit.
Jade, Stella knows that.
But didn't Viola know it too? But she went on ahead and forgot it. We had to hold up the ceremony for 37 minutes while she ran on the gun. By the time she got to the platform, she looked like a nightmare. Curls done laid out and died.
We, the women of the Negro Woman Organization for Youth Education.
In quicker terms, known as the NWOYE.
Division of African Zionist Church.
Independent division of the African Zionist Church.
Amen. Would like to extend our deepest congratulations to our third success, the new fully educated Tracy Ada, raising spirits and heightening pride.
Founded by our dear Stella Margaret Kaiser.
Am I gonna do this or you?
Well, it's important that you get it right.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Well, we don't ceremony every day.
Jane, just let finish.
Excuse me.
Where was I?
Founded by Stella.
Did Pine say he had help when he robbed that bank?
No.
Maybe you won't need none neither. I wish you'd think about what I've got planned. I refuse to make another speech like that Viola would, so just come on, young miss.
Well, we did come back.
I can see it now. Everybody's seated and sweating. First thing they do is drink up all the punch. And now the Blue went and invited all her bar friends and told them we'd be having food. We'll have more folks than we can handle.
I ain't tell nobody we were gonna serve some food.
Maybe you didn't. Much as you want it all for yourself, you're not gonna tell anybody else.
Oh, no, she didn't say that.
I used to get on the floor and stop the show.
No,
now don't make me no flip and let me show up. Oh, come on, show up. Oh, come on, tap out a little something. Show your study. Come on. Here.
Oh, yeah, now watch this. If I wasn't a lady, I would have done like the rest of them.
And what's that?
I would have numbered my drawers and pitched them out.
But then you didn't.
And why is that?
You was might have landed and killed him.
Of course, now, if the real problem is Zeke, you better tell him to leave you alone.
Who said anything about my husband? I didn't say nothing about him being no problem. That's you putting words in my mouth.
Oh, come on, calm down, sister. Ain't no secret about your husband and you.
My stars.
Ain't no secret about you and Mamie's husband. But I don't go around publicizing it, do I?
That's because Mamie's husband don't bounce me around like your husband.
That's it! You need to pull your drawers out the door. Get up so
What's wrong with Stella? Get us some water. Somebody get us some water.
Mama, what's wrong with you, Mama?
Get me some spirit.
Come
on,
sit down.
They turned us down. They thought it was a joke we put in for the loan. Mr. Grayson said we couldn't be serious.
I just be damn. So educating our girls didn't mean nothing to him. Never mind, we provided for the education for Tracy and Viola. That meant nothing to him. We're just a joke.
I tell you, I just feel like going back to that bank and just taking that money. Well then, Tracy, what about the plans you've been working on?
All right.
I've compiled everything that we have to know.
Well, all right. Now, we don't know nothing about this bank stuff, so you're going to have to teach us, all right?
That's right. If God can take care of a crazy like Mr. Pine, then I know he can take care of a baby like you and fools like us. I cover the alleyway while y'all go in the back of the bank. Then I stand guard.
I cut the wires, dead the system. We're in.
I lead the way out, flashlight in hand, and take up post by the window.
We're at the vault, and I hand Tracy the stethoscope.
The stethoscope is on. I crack the safe.
Money bags out, we're loading.
Leading down to red.
Then I lead the way out.
I signal to Blue.
I rode to Alley,
And I cover for them to the car.
and I drive us back to Stella.
Keep going.
And then once we're in the house, we have to remove all suits.
I collect the money bags.
I collect the suits for burning.
And once we're all clothed, then the mission is accomplished.
It's as cut and dry as that. If we panic, we will kill each other.
We all got the loot doing a soft shoe out of the bank, and something's missing. Jane, we about face to face, not heard by that old distant sound of a toilet flushing. That's all the coppers would need. They have to come cuff us up. The toilet was the key lead in the rest of the or better still, colored women get caught flushing the toilet. So y'all weren't familiar with me when I was known as Daniels of Dirt Mountain, Mississippi, and wasn't to be fooled with. Bye. Boom. It also be known that I fought a good fight. Remember my name? Blue Daniels from Dirt Mountain, Mississippi. Boom! You's right. I'm dead.
clock. We're on. Let's do this.
For every little thing you've done, just for me. For all you've done, oh, you did it for me, yeah. You did it for me. You did it for me. Oh, Lord, you did it for me.
So what was that, Miss Pam? She's gone. Oh, let me get her back. What did y'all think? I mean, that show, y'all tore the audience up.
There were scenes I hadn't seen from the front, and I was just having a good time when I was, because I was off stage, but watching and I used to hear that the gun scene, but Lou, you a mess up there.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yes.
When we added Babs, everybody, this is Babs, and also Miss Morrison, who also played in the preview at Wally Lowe Theater, and she was a vocalist too. So welcome to Theater Talk Live.
Wonderful. Thank you. It's good to be here. Hey, everybody.
So I met Babs at North Raleigh when she was in the second cast of, what was the name of the play? Ain't Misbehaving. And I met Miss Morrison at the Piedmont, is it Piedmont Theater? Paramount.
Paramount.
Paramount Theater when you were in Sister Act.
Right.
So Agape knows how to find talent.
And it was a joy.
So y'all like working together?
It was a joy working with this group. All of the groups. We became a family.
Oh yeah. We had great time.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe it's been
Time
2
flies.
years already. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, I got to see the play from the front.
Right.
Every single night, you guys had me in stitches. Every single night. It was something new and something different every single time. And I was rolling.
And when Bernetta used to say, I had to hold up the ceremony for 37
that's hilarious.
minutes.
It's really weird seeing yourself. It's totally different seeing yourself.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing it after doing it, because when you're watching it, we get to see all those pieces that we are up there playing with and just having a good time. Because I think we had a great time.
There were a lot.
How does this play relate? And how does this play relate to what's going on today?
I posted something earlier today on Facebook, and I'm sure you all have heard the saying that the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yes.
And it's true. Things may look a little different, but if you look deep enough, they look the same. There are still so many injustices from a financial standpoint. These women were dealing. These women were dealing with the financial racism, the socialism, the classism, all of that. And there is no difference. They try to hide it today. They try to make it look like it's something that is not, but it's still prevalent. Housing, bank loans, even some institutions of higher learning. The racism is still here. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. Michelle, you have a question?
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
okay. I was gonna say, I think one of the things that might be unfortunately different is we don't have that church community. I mean, the Black church is just not as strong as it used to be. And when I ask my students, for example, about spirituals, they don't know what those are because they're not in church and they're not singing those songs. And I think they don't have that really necessary support that the church used to give our young people. And that's a sad difference,
It is. So, Babs, when you came into that role, what did you think when you read it?
Well, I had seen a clipping of it. Remember when they did that clipping of all the shows at Raleigh Little Theater? And when I first saw that clipping, I thought, oh, wow, this is a great show. I can't wait to see it. And when you asked me to be in it, I thought, you want me to be in that show? I really wanted to see that show.
Okay, she's froze. So somebody else. Michelle, didn't you have a question?
I think she's frozen too.
Yeah. Anyway, talk to us a little bit of you're back, Babs.
Yes, I'm back. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
no,
I have a question. So my question.
Go ahead. So she's freezing now. So go ahead, Babs.
I was just saying that coming into the show, it was really working with all these women. And I think we just grew off of each other. We worked off of each other. It was a great cast. We just had fun. It was work because there were trying moments, but we had a great time getting through them. And accidents that happened on stage became a part of the show and they became fun. So it was a great cast. It was just a fun time, and it'd be nice to do it again.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite shows to direct. The comedy is there by you just being yourselves. Being in character is so comedic. And Bernetta, I didn't realize, and I must have forgot that you had done it years before because your Jade is just Jade, boy, Jade.
Oh, Jade.
But I was thinking each of the characters, and I'd like to think Ramona King wrote them loosely enough that we could we could play with it and put other little pieces in them. It would be funny to see if we had a totally different cast, how they play it differently. But the way Blue would work a water, that flask and like that, and the innocence of Mariah as that child really coming into her own, and grandmother, the sternness. I think that whoever was playing grandmother, whether it was Pam or then whether it was, who else played that? Pam played
Carolyn Jefferson.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Carolyn. But I think we all brought different things to it, and I saw how the characters evolved. I think that's the most fun. But we were a good team. I enjoyed you all so much, And Ken, after you left, we'd still sit up there working in that cold black box.
Oh man, see, that's dedication right there. That's dedication. So Michelle, you back? You got a question? You still can't? yeah. Anyway, let me just move on. Miss Phyllis Morrison is also in Esther Waters' story, and she starred in that, and great job. We bringing that back whenever we get back. We got to bring that back.
Whenever we get back.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
whenever we get back. So, talk to a little bit about working with Agape versus working with. I know you work with Bulldog. You work with other companies.
Absolutely. So, so the Gallery Players in Burlington was my first venture into acting in 2017. And it was an amazing opportunity. My first tryout, I got the lead part. Got it because I can't dance. And I definitely can't dance and sing at the same time. But it was an amazing opportunity, and I'm so happy for it. It was really draining though, because I had to drive from Durham to Burlington once a day for rehearsals. And that's really taxing. And getting back home late, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then having to be ready to teach the little children the very next day. That was a lot. So when I got the opportunity through Canada Hinton to come and bring everything to Durham, it was like, okay, I'm ready for this. And I'm just thrilled that he came to Burlington, saw me in that production, because ever since 2017, he has been, you, Kenneth, have been my biggest cheerleader. And every production that you have, you've always tried to find a way to make me a part of it. I started out singing for you, and then you transitioned into acting for you. And I'm thrilled. Yes, I've done work with Bulldog Theater. It's just exciting to be able to work where I live.
Right.
And to know that there is so much talent in Durham, Wake County, yes, Durham County, but just to know that right here in my own backyard, that there is so much talent and so many opportunities. Of course, when Corona's not here, for us to see and to hear all the great talent out there, and just to be a part of this community is just fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's the city of the arts, as they say.
Yeah.
And I grew up in Raleigh, and I prefer living in Durham than Raleigh. Just for me, Raleigh is just a little bit more tight, a little bit more, that's the state capital. So, and Durham seems to be a little bit more artsy.
And I can tell you this much, out of all the women that I've had the opportunity to work with, doing work with Agape, one of the first ones was Paula.
Yep.
And honey, the first time I met you, you just rocked my world. You're so warm, and I just love your spirit, and you're hilarious. And every role I've ever seen you in, it's like, oh my gosh, you're perfect for it. So anytime I get to work with you, which has been a minute, so we need you to fix that. I need to work with Paula again real soon.
You can sing too, right? You can sing, right?
Yes.
Music, yeah.
Yes.
So, are you back with us? Can you say anything?
Let me
She's
just
still
say,
having trouble
can you hear me?
with her device. Yeah.
Can you hear me? And let me just say that every time you open your mouth to sing it, lady, you don't know what you do to my spirit. Oh my gosh. Oh, you are just, look, the world is, let's just say they should know you and your voice, because they're being cheated because they don't. But
Thank
it's out there,
you.
girl. You are so
Praise
good.
God. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Amen.
And this whole cast, Ken.
Oh, we lost her.
All right, wait. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, y'all in them iPhones. I told you, I don't know what to say. I'm trying not to bad mouth because I got an iPad right here, so I'm not bad with iPhone. Anyway,
I want to say, I wanted to say, yeah, P, I love your voice,
Yeah.
but you all don't realize Babs sings too.
Yeah, he
And
does.
Babs
Oh,
was one
yeah.
of the latest who came in to the group. And but Babs, you brought such, I don't know, it was such a sincere spirit.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it was a joy meeting you and your honesty, and you were always positive. That
Okay.
Babs had such a positivity about her. I really appreciated it. I really did.
You're very sweet, but it was just great working with you guys. I mean, everybody is so professional and everybody did their job. And it's nice to work with a cast where, you know, you work with different people when you're in theater and you meet so many different personalities. So it was nice to work with people that wanted to just do the job, wanted to get up there and make it happen. And I think we did that. You know, we made it happen for us, which is the most important thing, I think. You know, and when you do that for yourself, the audience has to feel it automatically.
Right.
So,
I worked with a director once, and she said, "Leave your egos at the door."
Yeah.
And and it was different too, because that was the theater with, I don't know, we all, whatever Ken wanted, you know, we took that. We took it and played with it. But I do feel that was a lot of it. We left whatever, you know, because you all know Black women can be difficult to work with. Okay.
Oh, really?
because we have struggled to be successful in where we are, and when we get a certain age, you can't tell us anything. You know,
that's true. That is true.
And I really said, I think we wanted to have fun, and I think that was a part of it too. You know, we wanted to have fun, and we really did.
So, Michelle, are you back? Can you hear us? You still having issues with your computer? All right. Well, we just move on.
I hope so.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm on the laptop.
Right. It's like freezing.
Okay, so I know that watching the clip, everyone seems to have a really good time. So did you ladies happen to know each other prior to the performances?
I think some of us knew each other. You know, I mean, I knew Pam because we were both at Central. I knew Paula. I knew Ken. You know, I think so. Maybe some of us knew each other in different situations.
I didn't know anybody. They were all new to me, and it was just great meeting everyone, working with them, and developing these great relationships that I think we've developed, you know.
And that's why I go to North Raleigh, or go to Bulldog, or go to Raleigh Little Theater, or go to Burning Coal, because I met a young lady, extraordinary actress, when I went to UNC Repertory Theater, and she was a senior in theater, and you know, we still keeping in touch now. So hopefully to bring her and put her in one of my shows. But yeah, I love entertaining, and I like to do first rate type stuff. You know, sometimes the theater companies in town, they have more money, but it doesn't always take money, it takes talent. And the way y'all made people laugh and fall out of their seats laughing, I mean, they always remember this cast. They were like, when you gonna bring back this show? You know, I'm always hearing of that about Stillaway, because they laugh so hard.
But we have a good script, though. I think we have to give it to Ramona King.
Yes.
Good script.
Yeah,
very good script. Because some of the dialogue between Grandmama and Tracy Ada was just outstanding. Nobody was on the stage but those two. They had some really deep conversations. And about why she doing this, and what is it about her that she can't get, that, you know, this is not why we sent you to school. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, the script in and of itself, I think, I was phenomenally written, and it did a fantastic job of really capturing so many so many emotions. I think Bernetta said that it was so loosely, that it was written loosely enough that each character could bring, each actor could bring, their certain personality to it. But in that script in and of itself was just so powerful. Again, thinking about how things were back in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and now thinking about how things are today, we can still, the fact that we can still relate today to what was happening in that script is powerful.
Right. That's powerful. Very powerful. Okay. Any final thoughts, Michelle? I'm trying to get her in here. She's my co-host. Michelle, can you hear me?
I know. I don't know why I'm having some technical difficulties, but
Okay.
I think the show, from what I've seen, has been amazing.
Yes. And we're gonna have to bring it to Fayetteville because we actually done this show. We did this show for the Orange Grove Missionary Baptist Church over. They did some kind of pastor anniversary. We did that at the Sheraton. Didn't we do that show? No, none of you were in this. Bernetta was in it. Remember we did it at the church. It was at a hotel. Okay. And then we did the show. We did the show in Holly Springs. We did the show in Holly Springs. We did it in Durham. Quite traveled show, and a lot of people have done this show. If you Google it, a lot of people over the country have done this show. So it's very, very, very popular. But anyway, it was so good talking to everybody. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go out playing the Burning Coal version of 2014 version and let the credits roll on this show. Thank y'all for being a part of Talk Live episode 10. And we know we'll see you down the road. And thank you, Michelle. And
Bye,
Bernetta.
bye,
Bye, everybody. Bye,
bye. Bye, Ken.
Okay.
Bye, Michelle.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, there goes the jackets. Are you all right? Leaving you both almost died. So did we. Now, what are y'all still doing in your uniform? I'm gonna take them off in a few minutes. Thank God. Yes. You know I wouldn't leave you. You know I wouldn't. Please put the money bags away.
You did what we told you to do.
I'm so scared. Oh, thank God. Stella, there are 4 money bags here, and this makes 5. Maybe. Stella, let's keep 2 for ourselves. What? Blue. Well, charity begins at home. This must be the aftershock setting. Is that your excuse?
We don't need no excuse. We owe this to ourselves.
You know as well as me, we couldn't be killed. I was so scared. And what about us? Stella, what would it hurt? Just a small cut for ourselves, Stella. All of us need this money, including you, Stella. I'm not talking about much.
She's right, and you know it.
I don't see it.
The devil was dancing tonight.
Oh, sweetie. You know it ain't no harm in it. It's just like Blue said.
Neither did Judas Iscariot until it was too late. The only grace that we have in getting this money as ours is in the spirit that we make something honorable out of it. And just as sure as you are born, the moment that we move away from that spirit, we will have nothing. And we will pay for it dearly.
Well, that's just a chance we gonna have to take. Because I'm taking what's mine, and this is mine.
We don't have to bow down to the devil, ladies. We have already won. Okay, yes, I'll admit, I was scared. But we have come this far as sisters. Now let's continue. Red. Blue.
Just then, clues are beginning to gather surrounding the night robbery at the Chicago Savings and Loan Bank. Apparently, it's the work of Dillinger and his new partner, Anthony Johnson, just from Christmas. It is believed to be the first robbery attempt at night, allegedly performed so authorities would not recognize Johnson. A plan now failed. Again, clues are forming that Dillinger and new partner, Anthony Johnson, are being solved.
It's happening!